Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing breakfast and it's one of my favorites. It's chilaquiles. So let's get into it. All right, what is chilaquiles? Sounds pretty intimidating, doesn't it? Really a simple breakfast dish that's absolutely delicious. And I'm going to give you kind of a cheat code on it today for a couple of reasons. One, you can make this dish where you go all in and you want to do everything from scratch, making your sauce and everything. And that's fine. That's a good way to do it. It is labor intensive. But if you want the great taste, the wonderful flavors of a chilaquile, and a couple of shortcuts that don't take away from the flavor, that's what we're going to give you today. So what is chilaquiles? Well, it's tortilla chips. It's a sauce, and typically, traditionally, this is a red or a green sauce, a chili verde or a rojo. And what you do is you warm up the salsa. It's a salsa. And you warm it up, and you put the tortillas in, you soften the tortillas, you plate that, you put some eggs on top, you get a little Mexican crema, you get some avocado, a little queso fresco, and you dress this plate up, which is what we're gonna do today, and you have this wonderful dish that you're going to enjoy. I'm making one change to this dish, and I always make this change, even if I make the sauce from scratch. And that is, traditionally, this is made with salsas. Salsas are a little bit more watery, a little bit more chunky. And for me, in my palate, it's not my favorite. I prefer an enchilada sauce, that type of sauce. And that's usually a little bit creamier, a little bit smoother. And quite honestly, the biggest difference between the two for me is salsas are made to be served cold with tortilla chips. Enchilada sauce, or a sauce made that way, is made to be served warm. And because this is a warm dish, I use and always use a sauce like an enchilada sauce. Absolutely delicious, and that's what we're going to do today. Okay, this dish is not hard to make, and that's one of the beauties of it. I'll tell you, this is kind of in that kind of same sandbox, if you will, as huevos rancheros. The difference there to me is here, the tortilla chips, we're trying to get them soft, almost soggy. That's the way I like them and prefer them. Where when you have a huevos rancheros, this is a fried, crispy tortilla that then is layered with the salsas, the cheese, and the egg. So similar kind of in concept, but kind of the execution and the end result of a more softened tortilla is the biggest difference. All right, so what we're gonna do, I've got a pan warming up. I'm just gonna open up this can of enchilada sauce, and we're just gonna pour this entire can into our skillet, and boom, the part of the sauce is done. I mean, like I said, I'm giving you this really user-friendly, easy to kind of put together, but you still get this wonderful flavor of chilaquiles. Okay, you want to watch your heat here. What you want this to do is just kind of warm up. You don't want it to be scorching hot. You're not trying to reduce the sauce as much. If you leave it and you let it get too hot for too long, it will start to reduce. And like I said, you just want it to warm up and kind of coat and start to soften our tortilla chips. So what I'm gonna do is open up our bag. Let's go ahead and get some of our tortilla chips in here. And I'm making a serving for one, so, and it's me, so I do like a good serving of this. You can sometimes serve this along with some beans or some guacamole on the side or something like that. I serve it as just kind of the main course. That's all I do. So I make me a pretty good helping. And as you can see, I'm just kind of looking at how I would want my chips to look on my plate. That looks pretty good. All right, once we have our chips in, we're just going to gently, because we don't want to break these up. We want to just kind of try to turn them over, get them coated a little bit. And as they soften, they'll be a little more pliable where we can fold them a little bit more and make sure we get them all covered. So what we're gonna do is let this cook just for a few minutes. Make sure we continue to work these tortillas, get them coated evenly. And then we're gonna switch out and make our over easy eggs and get those ready to go. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and prep our avocado and break up some of our queso fresco. This is getting a little warm, so go ahead and turn that down. But our sauce is looking good. I can feel the chips getting a little softer, which is what we want. Smells fantastic. We're just gonna open this up and just break it up a little bit. So I like to break off just a little chunk like that, and then you're just gonna kind of crumble it up in a bowl. Queso fresco, it's a little bit of a drier cheese, but it's got really nice flavor, and it's not a super melty cheese, but it melts enough that it just works. It balances out the creaminess of the sauce and works well. Okay, there's our queso fresco. And let's get an avocado going. I am going to just kind of slice this in here. And then just kind of go the other way, trying to make some little cubes that we could put on. You could use slices if you wanted. Sometimes I do. Today I'm just going to go a cube. Going to get us a little spoon and just kind of get that out. Okay, our sauce is in a really good spot. It's warm. It's got just a slight simmer on it. As we look at our tortilla chips, I'm just going to move these around a little bit, keep them kind of from sticking to the bottom, make sure they stay saucy, ooey, gooey, and good. And that's what we've got right there. So we're going to set this over here to the side. And all that we have left is we're going to do our eggs and start building. So let's do it. Now, I'm making this for one, just for me. But very easily, you could make this for a group. You know, using a bigger saucepan, larger cans, more cans of enchilada sauce work just fine. Obviously, more tortillas into the thing. That's simple. Plate up, and then, you know, do your eggs at the end. So you can make this for you know, a group, 3 or 4, no problem at all. Pretty easy to do. All right, I'll tell you, into the pan, I use a couple tablespoons of olive oil, and then I like about a tablespoon of butter, and that's how I like to cook my eggs. I'm an olive oil and butter guy. Some people like spray. You do you. But this, to me, is the way I like to cook my eggs. All right, let's get our eggs in. Turn this down just a little bit. All right, 3 eggs in. I go over easy on these. We'll put a little salt and pepper on them and flip them, pull them, plate them, get ready to eat them. All right, a little salt. Some fresh cracked pepper. While these are kind of finishing, let's grab a plate. Okay, we are done. Everything's ready to go. Got the eggs just kind of in this warm pan finishing up. So we're going to start the plate. And simply, we're going to take our tortillas and plate these. Going to come in with a little queso fresco on top like this. Let's come in with our eggs. Go with a little bit more queso fresco on top. And we're going to get some of our chunky avocado. The avocado is a nice kind of creaminess, fattiness to the sauce of the enchilada sauce. Last but certainly not least, we're going to finish this off with a little Mexican crema. And all we're going to do here is just kind of some dollops in some certain spots. Maybe just run us a little line across like that. And that's our chilaquiles. The simple, easy version, but absolutely delicious. All right, I say we grab a fork, we break into one of these eggs, and we get us a bite. All right, let's see what we think here. I already know what I'm gonna think, but I'm gonna do it for you all. Wow, I love this dish. It is so freaking good. The big richness of the spice and everything that's in that enchilada sauce, balanced out with a little creaminess from that avocado, the creaminess from that egg yolk, the crema kind of softens it a little bit, that coolness to it. Absolutely wonderful bite, delicious dish, as you saw, easy to make, something you absolutely need to make at home. Share it with friends and family. You won't be disappointed. All right, that's it for today's episode. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments if you've ever made chilaquiles, if you've ever thought about using an enchilada sauce instead of a salsa. It's my go-to move, and I think it works great. All right, we'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers.